episode of Cooking with Jen. Today we're going to make a very refreshing and very fruity summer dessert. It is called the Blueberry and the Blackberry Mousse Tart. Doesn't it sound very yummy? So basically this is a very light and very refreshing tart which is very easy to eat, and you can have it for tea time snack or for after dinner dessert. Let's take a look at all the ingredients we require. Firstly, we need cream cheese. Use the block Philadelphia cream cheese. We will need 2 teaspoons of pure natural vanilla extract. We will need a mix of blackberries and blueberries. And we will need about 60 ml of fresh milk, or you could also use any kind of milk you want. If you prefer a vegan recipe, you could use oat milk or almond milk or any other alternative form of milk. And we need about 28 Oreo cookies. We need some butter, so if you are vegan, you can go with the vegan butter. And we need some custard sugar and a teaspoon of agar powder or gelatin powder. Now that we've got all the ingredients, let's get started. What we're going to do now is to add the Oreo cookies into a food processor or a blender. Next, I'm going to add the butter in. So remember to use room temperature butter. So what you do, if you've just bought the butter, you just leave it out at room temperature for about 20 minutes to half an hour before use. Okay, so now we're going to blend everything. Before we place the cookie crust onto the tart base, we will need to glaze it with a layer of butter. This is to prevent the cookie crust from sticking to the pan. Okay, for this recipe, actually you can do without baking the crust. However, I like my crust crispier, so I'm going to bake in the oven for about 5 minutes. And now I'm going to place the cookie crust at the bottom of the pan. So it's very fine now, so I really like it when it's really crispy and nice. So what you need to do is to flatten the crust. And spread it evenly at the base. Okay, the Oreo base is ready, so it's ready to go into the oven. So remember, bake at 175 degrees for 5 minutes. So we'll leave it aside while we make the filling. Okay, the cookie crust is ready, so it's nice and crispy now. I left it to cool for about an hour or so, and the aluminium foil is to prevent any leakage. Okay, so now we're getting excited because this is the fun part. We're going to make the puree, the blueberry and the blackberry puree. So what we're going to do is to place the berries in the blender or a food processor. We'll start blending now. It's ready now. It's almost done. However, to ensure that the texture is really smooth, we'll need to put it in a strainer to strain off so that the mixture is very smooth. the filling for the mousse tart. Are you excited? Yes? He's not saying anything. Okay, so now we're going to pour the puree into the blender. Okay, next we're going to add cream cheese. Okay, and you know what we're going to add next? Not sure. Okay, we can add the sugar. Pour the sugar. Okay, followed by 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. I'm using the natural one as it tastes a lot better. Yeah, we've got everything inside. We are going to blend. It's done now, so I will set this aside. Keep it closed first while I whip my whipped cream. So I'm going to pour the whipped cream into a mixing bowl. So what you need to do is to whip till Steve pig's frog. Next, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of agar powder into the milk and bring it to a boil. So gently stir until the agar powder dissolves into the milk. So when it's starting to bubble, it's time to switch it off. I'm going to pour the puree in. Okay, now I'm going to pour in the milk with the agar powder, which has already dissolved into the milk. And we'll mix it with the berry puree. Wow, he's excited. Working very hard. Now we are mixing the puree with the milk which and the agar powder which has already dissolved. And the last part would be to fold in the whipped cream which we have whipped to Steve Pig's. Slowly pouring this glorious mixture onto the oreo crust. Oh, it looks so good. But we can't eat it yet. We've got to refrigerate it for at least 4 hours. Keep it covered with the aluminium foil and refrigerate it for about 4 hours. So this is how it looks like after it's covered. So remember to cover it tightly so that it does not absorb the smell of the other food in the fridge. Chill in the fridge for about 4 to 5 hours. It's best to chill overnight. However, we would recommend that you chill it in the freezer if you are not going to eat it immediately. So yeah, that will help to set the mousse. The berry tart is ready after we chill it overnight. So it's now ready to be consumed. So we're going to decorate it. So okay. The berry tart is ready to be eaten after chilling in the fridge for 24 hours, and it's looking wonderful. And you want to eat it? Yes? Okay, try making this berry tart at home. I'm sure you and your family will love this. And it's really easy to make, and it's very refreshing, and it's the perfect after dinner dessert. If you like this video, do remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Cooking and Dining with Jen. See you again next time. Bye bye! Aaron, say bye everyone. Bye bye!